Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, we will be seeing the economics topic, that is optimal choice of the consumer. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends, and also click the bell button to receive notification whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So as I told, today's video is about the optimal choice of the consumer. The optimal choice of the consumer. So before going into this topic, we have to see the two topics which we have learnt in the previous videos. So first we will see the topic budget set. So what is a budget set? A budget set consists of all bundles that are available to the consumer. The consumer can choose her consumption bundle from the budget set. I'll explain in a little more simpler words. We have learned that if the consumer's income is M and the price of bananas and mangoes are P1 and P2, that is P1 is price of bananas and P2 is price of mangoes, and the consumer's income is M. So if the consumer wants to buy X1 quantity of banana, she will have to spend P1 into X1. So income here is M and the consumer wants to buy X1 quantity of banana at the price of P1. So P1 into X1. That is how much banana they can buy for P1 amount of money. Next is, if the consumer wants to buy X2 quantity of mangoes and the price of mango is P2, then it is X2 quantity of mangoes and price is P2. So X2 into P2. These both should be added, then it should be equal to the income of the consumer, that is M. This point is the budget line. Okay, so the exact amount is equal to the income of the consumer. So here, if the income of the consumer is M and the price of banana is P1 and price of mango is P2, if the consumer wants to buy X1 quantity of banana, she will have to spend P1 into X1 amount of money. If the consumer wants to buy X2 quantity of mango, she will have to spend P2 into X2 amount of money. So the bundle, the exact bundle will consist of X1 quantity of banana and X2 quantity of mango. That is what the consumer will get. So it is assumed that the consumer chooses her consumption bundle, that is consumer will choose how much banana I should have, how much mango I should have based on her taste and preference. The consumer, if she likes more banana, she will take more quantity of banana and less quantity of mango. That depends on the taste and preference of the consumer. So like that, the consumer decides what bundle to take in the budget set. So here the income is limited, that is M is a fixed income, it will not change, and the price of the commodity also is fixed. Price of banana is P1 and price of mango is P2, that also will not change. Only thing which can change is the quantity. Either the person can have more of banana and less of mangoes, or less of banana and more of mangoes. That depends on the taste of the consumer. So that is what we learned in the budget set. So here you see in this budget set, here mangoes are there and here bananas are there. So here what is it? The budget line is P1 X1 plus P2 X2, which is equal to M, that is the income of the consumer. So this is called the budget line. This line is called as the budget line. Okay, I will just change the pen so that it will be much more clearer. Okay, so this line which you see is called as the budget line. Okay, so this is the perfect point or perfect bundle which a consumer chooses. Now that concept you keep in your mind. Now the next concept which we have to see is, when we learned about indifference curve, we learned that the higher the indifference curve, it gives higher level of satisfaction. Now we have learned about indifference curve. So what is indifference curve? It shows how much of one good a person have to sacrifice to have more of another good. So like that we have seen that a consumer can have different options, different choices, and that is called an indifference curve. So here if you see, here mangoes are there, here bananas are there. So first we can see if the consumer wants to have 10 mangoes, he can have only one banana. Again, if you see, if consumer, if they want to have 8 mangoes, they can have maybe more of bananas, 2 bananas. If this is going down, if they have 5 mangoes, then they can have only 3 bananas. So like that, different choices are there. So that is called as indifference curve. So we have different levels of indifference curve, IC1, IC2, IC3. So according to the concept, the higher the indifference curve, the more satisfaction a consumer will have. So here if you see which curve will have more satisfaction, higher one, that is IC3 will have more satisfaction compared to IC2. IC2 will have more satisfaction compared to IC1. So that is what I said here. When we learned about indifference curve, we have learned that the higher the indifference curve, it gives the higher level of satisfaction, and the consumer has to sacrifice one good to have more of another good. See here, if the consumer wanted to have more bananas, the consumer had to sacrifice 2 mangoes here. First he had 10 mangoes and 1 banana. But if you want to have 2 banana, then here mangoes number is reducing, 8 mangoes and 2 bananas. So 2 mangoes are being sacrificed to get 1 extra banana. So that is what is called as the indifference curve. So we know that the budget set describes the bundle that is available to the consumer, and a preference over the available bundle can usually be represented by an indifference map. So that two concepts is clear, I think. So a rational consumer, so an intelligent or a rational consumer, what the consumer does, the consumer will have a problem of choice. They want to get the highest satisfaction at the proper budget line. So the rational consumer problem is to move to a point on the highest possible indifference curve given her budget set. So the indifference curve should be inside the budget set. It should not be over the budget set, or it should not be below the budget set. If it is over the budget set, what will happen? The consumer will have to spend more money, because income is only, the budget line is exactly the income. So if it is over means more money, if it is below means they will underspend less money. So that is where the consumer have to find an optimal choice. So that is what is shown here. So here we can see both the diagrams together. So here we have the three indifference curve, IC3, IC2, IC1. So according to the basic concept, IC3 gives the maximum satisfaction. But you see where the budget line is. See here, budget line I will mark as AB. So AB is the budget line, and the indifference curve IC3 is above the budget line. Okay, so that means if you have to get IC3 satisfaction, you will have to spend more than your income. That is not possible. So let us see about IC1. This blue color is IC1. So if IC1, if I see, it is below the budget line. So if I choose IC1, then that combination if I choose, then I will have to underspend less amount of money. So what is the optimal choice? That is IC2 here. See, when the indifference curve and the budget line tangents, that is, see this point, the indifference curve and the budget line meets together. So here the indifference curve will be there, and exactly the budget line will meet together. So this point is the optimal choice of the consumer. So here imagine that the three indifference curves are there, IC1, IC2 and IC3. IC3 gives maximum satisfaction, but IC3 is above the budget line. In IC1, we are spending less than the income available. IC1 is below the budget line. So, the satisfaction level will decrease. So, in IC2, we can see the point at which the budget line, so here the point at which the budget line touches or is tangent to the indifference curve, which would be the optimum, optimum is called as the optimum choice of consumer. Okay, so thus the optimum bundle is located on the budget line at a point where the budget line is tangent to the indifference curve, or it is meeting the indifference curve. Therefore, the point x1, x2 at which the line is tangent to an indifference curve represents the consumer's optimal bundle. So, this point which we have marked here is x1, x2. So, this point shows the consumer's optimal choice, okay, or optimal bundle. So, this is how we understand the point, the consumer's optimal bundle. So, once more I can say, thus the optimal bundle is located on the budget line at the point where the budget line is tangent to the indifference curve. Therefore, the point x1, x2 at which the budget line is tangent to an indifference curve represents the consumer's optimal bundle. So, I hope this concept is very clear to you. In case of any doubts, you can ask in the comment section, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So, I hope to see you all soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching.